Why didn't Marineland Canada sell? That is one of the biggest questions being asked in the roller coaster community and theme park community to date. Why didn't and why wasn't Marineland able to sell its current parcel of land and attraction portfolio? There are so many reasons as to why Marineland wasn't able to sell, and I'm going to go over all the reasons that I think Marineland Canada didn't sell. And I have to start off this video with a disclaimer that this is mere speculation and none of the things stated in today's video are fact. And Marineland lawyer, please stay away. Anyways, let's get right into it. So reason number one is an obvious reason that we are all aware of, and that is Marineland has been plagued with negative media and even a future outlook for the park. A lot of media out there, a lot of people, a lot of potential guests, just a lot of Canadians in general have such a negative perception of Marineland and its entire property. That includes the current existing rides, the current existing look of the park, the employees, the animals there, just everything about it is so plagued with negativity that essentially if anyone was coming in to buy Marineland, they would have to start anew, essentially erasing everything we knew and believed in Marineland and kind of just starting fresh. And that's a really expensive thing to do. So the family in itself had such a bad reputation, and it goes far beyond just the park. If you looked up any news articles out there, it goes all the way back to John Holler and his trailer park, how he treated employees, how he governed himself in the community. There was a lot of negativity, whether it was true or not. It was in the media, it was out there, and it was in the community. A lot of people talking. So if I was a buying company looking into purchasing Marineland, these are things that would pop up when you searched the park. All this negative attention. It came down to the family reputation, the animals, and the land. There's so many rumors about what's buried on the land. And I use rumors loosely because we know it's fact, but obviously you have to play it safe out there. But it's just that entire park, this entire parcel of land is so plagued with negativity. It's really hard for anyone to kind of like look at this and be like, oh, this is an easy development. This is an easy turnaround. And it sucks because it's in one of the most prime locations that someone could be looking into to purchase a park. So I feel like Marineland, if it wasn't owned by who it was owned by, could have sold so easily or been turned around by any theme park company out there. But because of the family and its reputation out there, it was just never going to happen. So that's one. Just plagued with negative media and attention was the number one killer to the sale of this property. Number two, and again, I'm saying everything in this video is pure speculation and rumors, but through the pipeline, we've heard from people that potentially could have worked at the park or could not have worked at the park, that the Marie Holler had extremely difficult guidelines at the beginning when people were genuinely inquiring about purchasing Marineland and there was open discussions. There was really difficult guidelines set out, including you couldn't change any of the buildings in the park. You had to keep the park the way that it looked. You couldn't go in and change it. And that goes back to part number one. Reason number one, if you wanted to change this park, buy this park, invest in this park, and really win over the community, it requires change. It requires significant change. So that rule alone was probably the biggest silent killer to any sale of this park. If there was investors looking to come in and turn it around, that would probably be step number one, is completely revamping the existing park and its attractions to essentially erase any history or acknowledgement of its previous owners. So there was that, which is unfortunate because I also heard the park came with a very cheap price tag. It was best offer one, essentially, from what I was hearing. Because this family, from what I have heard, has a lot of outside income outside of Marineland. A lot of those businesses, especially those metalwork businesses along that road, they rent from the Holler family off that property. But it's the difficult guidelines. The family didn't have enough money to relocate the animals or continue to feed the animals, so a lot of negotiations were going essentially nowhere in terms of who was going to do what they weren't allowed to do if they purchased it. The family was under the impression that someone would purchase it and that they would be able to continue the Holler name somehow in that park. I even heard a crazy rumor. I cannot verify what this is, if this is true, that the family wanted a statue of John Holler somewhere in the park if someone was to buy the park. But take that with a grain of salt, because I don't personally believe that, but I do believe the strict guidelines in terms of not changing any of the building structures inside the Marineland. Number 3 is another obvious one, is the animals and their relocation. It's super expensive, super dangerous, and just overall like stressful, which then links back to reason number 1, negative media attention. So again, it's like a common trifecta of just issues for anyone wanting to purchase this property. You got to relocate the animals, which comes with a lot of negative attention, a lot of negative press. What's going to happen to these animals during their relocation? Who's responsible for the animal relocation and the animal's well-being during that relocation? So, like, for example, I'm just going to throw names out there. This isn't a potential buyer. I'm just going to, let's say Six Flags purchased Marineland. And then they came with the deal. They came with a deal with the previous owners, the Holler family, to relocate the belugas. Well, then some of these belugas get hurt in transportation. The media covers it. Oh, no, negative, negative, negative. It's just all around was not going to work. It truly was set up for failure from day one of the sale of this park, or the potential sale of this park that never happened. Timing and cost. Well, it's so obvious the type of economy we are currently in, and the type of economy that was potentially forming during the sale of Marineland. And because of that timing and the cost to essentially take over Marineland, even with a cheap land value ticket, to essentially refurbish all of Marineland, get it back into working order, the marketing it would require, the animal relocation, whatever deal they ended up working out, the refurbishments, hiring back a maintenance team and experienced people to get this park up and running, it's costly. So all in all, as a total package, purchasing, saving, and refurbishing Marineland just really wasn't viable for any theme park company out there. And the number one silent killer, the number one silent killer was the guidelines that the owners were setting that park up for failure to sale. But the number 2 silent killer to this sale is, if you look up a lot of these theme park companies out there and how they're doing and how they were doing, a lot of companies aren't doing so hot in terms of growth over last year, quarterly growth, etc. You could look up any theme park provider out there, and a lot of them are doing poorly, except for Herschend and Dollywood. You know, Dollywood is owned by Herschend, but they have strong numbers. But a lot of these other people who potentially could afford or would be looking to purchase don't have the money right now to go out and spend the amount of money to purchase this, refurbish it, and get it back up and running with the amount of marketing it required to rebrand and refresh. So it's just all in all like a 4 package deal that led to this never being able to happen. Timing and cost, animals and relocation, difficult guidelines set out by the seller, and plagued with negative media and attention based off of family reputation, the animals, and the land. Not to mention now it is way too late. A lot of these rides have sat too long and are beyond resale or refurbishment. So that it would require so much. So that's essentially what I know about the potential fall through of any sale of Marineland. That's my thoughts and opinions on why this will not happen. And it's going to end up being a housing development or condos or hotels or something along that route. It's gonna be some like other country investor coming in and building something completely different, like an indoor mall with indoor skiing and condos and hotels and stuff like that. And it will never be what we know a theme park, an outdoor theme park. I do not think that's going to happen. I think that if we do see a theme park in Niagara Falls, it's going to have to be almost essentially kind of like fully funded and opened via the help of the province or country Canada through investing in a potential project somewhere in Niagara. Because we saw that Niagara is interested in opening some sort of theme park. But the land has been divided up, and it is beginning rezoning and getting ready to be sold and developed into housing, condos, hotels, and stuff like that. Not theme park. Anyways, that's all I know for now. I'll keep you guys posted. It is unfortunate, but yeah. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Bye.